in the markets kind of makes you a pessimist. You got to combat that stuff. You got to combat that stuff. All right, here's market open already, and typically we have a little red open and then a bounce and then go higher. We'll see if they want to do that today. NASDAQ 30,260. We had an extraordinary session yesterday. Extraordinary. And NASDAQ is, we'll see how things go. It's been a very, very tight overnight session. Not, in my opinion, no trades. Of course, I didn't take a trade. A 10-point range on the S&P. And let me get this muted. $10-point range in the S&P and 100 points on NASDAQ overall. So very, very tight. Conditions are tight. Premiums are a little bit cheaper. VIX is very low. And we're all just kind of sitting here wishing that VIX was back to 25.30. At least I do. I love 25.30. Now, can it continue? I mean, the daily chart says yes. There's not a single aspect of bearishness on this chart. It's only bullishness. And we'll see, obviously, how that comes to fruition. Next week we begin, or what, a week and a half we begin Jackson Hole. We have NVIDIA next week. Maybe we should all go out and do some fly fishing out in Wyoming in a couple of weeks. What's up, Side Gig Guru? How you doing? Crucio, Jonathan, Ack, Dreamy, Nico, Jimba, Firefly. How's it going? How's everybody doing? Pine Beach Dan, Zuelis, Ryan, Hyder Trades, Walker. Good morning. Mojo, bienvenidos. Ohio. 30,237. 15-minute chart. Trading like your wife is watching. Yep. I don't know what to expect today. I don't know what to expect. It's Friday. I'm kind of already in weekend mode here. Got my flip-flops on, listen to Jimmy Buffett. Not really. I loathe Jimmy Buffett. But you get the gist. What's up, noob? Taking a look around the market, everything for the most part is green. Nothing crazy green. The biggest winner of the day is SanDisk, but they're typically, when they are green, they're typically up 4 or 5%. So that's normal for them. I do have a stock that I'm taking a look at for a long-term addition. And all I want to say to start this conversation is make them say, You know why? Because the stock ticker is UUUU. And the only thing that makes me think of is, Boom. This is an energy name, and I am definitely bullish energy into the future. I'm bullish on energy into the future. Energy. Someone smart once told me a long time ago is that invest in stuff that people need to survive, and energy is definitely one of those. And I could see this thing coming back up pretty aggressively. Not to mention, what's this little thing down here that occurred on October 20, 2025? What was that? These are monthly charts, by the way. We have a change of character on this chart, on this name. So it is a very, very cheap name, but it's one of those value names that could start to do something. I'm going to keep an eye on it in the future. I might even go ahead and open up a position in it just to kind of hold it. Very small position. Maybe throw a G into it. We'll see. NASDAQ is sliding back over here, 30,220, into the retail sales low of 200. Very typical open so far. This is the exact same open. There's no expense ratio on. Yeah. It's a very small name. But it's an energy name. And I'm going to deep dive a little bit into it this week and next week to see if it's something that's investable. See what their prospectus is, and then, maybe we'll open up a first position. We'll see. Very small, of course. Very small. I don't like taking small caps unless there's tremendous opportunity. And honestly, you're not going to find a lot of value in those names, because if you did find value, then everybody else will find value, and the thing will already be at 100. Once you see the value in the name, it's too late. You got to get in before there's value, and that's kind of that's the little luck of the draw type of thing. You have to have a good foresight for it. It's not easy. I bought for 1.1, sold for 1.5 in 2020. Biggest mistake. Yeah. Oh, you bought a little nice. All right, Nasdaq is still sliding lower. Look at my watch list. I already have under my nuclear. Okay. All right, I understand. All right, Nasdaq is still rolling. We have call selling, put buying so far. The retail news this morning was abysmal. It shows a continually degrading environment for the economy. Gas, you know what I paid for gas yesterday? $3.83 a gallon. $3.83 a gallon. It's terrible. It's terrible. Food prices are astronomical. Jobs market is exploding to the downside. Not good. Imploding, I should say. Not exploding. Imploding. Housing market is faltering. It's on the teeter. It's teetering on the edge. It is not good, man. It's not good. That's cheap in my vacation to New Jersey. New York is no. Yeah, but that's commie land. That's, $4.39 is normal for commie land. I live in the land of the free, homie. As free as you could be, at least. And now that I can buy, suppressors, we're even more free. Applied VPA to large cap swing options. Tesla calls. There you go, Majestic. VPA is extremely powerful on long-term charts. Extremely powerful on long-term charts. Gas was $3.85 a gallon in 2008 under Obama. No, I remember that too. Trust me. I don't know if that was a remark assuming that I'm a liberal, but yeah, I'm not. Just because I voted for Trump doesn't mean I can't critique him. Things are terrible right now. But yes, I do remember that. I had to drive a long way in 2014. That was terrible. All right. A little bit of red coming off here. No trades for me yet. It is Friday. This is a wiki-style little downtrend here. Top wick. Kind of rolling here, looking for volume spikes. If you look left, we've already taken out the retail low, which was 200, which was not that far away anyway. We have the overnight low way down at 123, which is only 50 points down. 50 points down. Now, if you compare that to last week, 50 points is like half a candle. But in this environment, that's a big move. With the VIX down this low, with the volatility very constricted, with price action just very tight, that's a good move. So again, don't think that we're going to get the same moves as last week. The problem is, land of the free is what voted for this rule. Folks say Trump up. Yo, 100%. 100%. I did too. I mean, he got me too, Brown. He got me. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I paid $2.52 on an 811 because 7-Eleven is doing a promo at 50 cents off on the 7th and 11th. Oh, that's pretty cool, laughing. That's pretty cool. Side gig, what's up? Nice little bottom wick, of course, with volume that occurred at 9:36. So let's go. 5 minute, we have a bottom wick. 1 minute, we have a bottom wick. Is this the indication here? Let me get my brokerage up and ready to go. And maybe we can do some slapping here. Maybe we can do a little slapping. First thing I'm doing when I get to Florida in a month is buying a new AR and suppressing it, simply because I cannot like it. Energy Fuels owns the only operating conventional uranium mill in the nation. Really? Yeah, like I said, I need to do some due diligence on the before I make it official. But I always like finding value. That's what made me my money in 2020, and I do think that's what we should be doing collectively. 30,201. I hope Phil is enjoying yellow Yosemite. I'm jelly. I'm peanut butter and jelly. Let's go to the 5 minute sweeping bottom wicks. 1 minute here. Where's that 50% pullback? Right there. There's your 50. There's your 50 on the range. I just bought the Radiant AR. I have to look that up. I almost pulled the trigger on a thermal scope last week. Almost. ES is down. What's gold doing? TRTX is doing fine. Gold. Silver 65.75, still launching. Hey, where's silver at right now? Silver's put on increasing volume into supply at the pivot from yesterday morning, and we just rejected 65.75. If silver takes this out, it might be an easy long play to 67. 67. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Another bottom wick on the old NASDAQ. Blowing up right here. Very quick dump and pump. Nearly the same exact play as yesterday. Nearly the same exact play as yesterday. I didn't take this one, though. I am sans position at the moment. Sans position. How about that weather this weekend, man? 111 degree heat index where I live. That should, yeah, it's terrible. That's only normal if you live in like Arizona, not my neck of the woods. That's terrible. We need some global cooling. Everybody go get some aerosol cans and spray them into the atmosphere. What's up, Ramos? Good morning. Brown Strat King. Does that insinuate that you learned the strat? Just curious. Probably. What I've been looking into, everyone says Haleo is a good setup for local energy production, but political stuff is going to hurt supply. Yep. It's hotter than heck down in South Florida. I bet. I can't imagine. All right, so we have this little bounce. We had the rejection, green back up. These are very small moves for NASDAQ. We're only talking, 10, 20 points. So we still have increasing put buying and call selling here. And NASDAQ has completely bounced. I didn't touch a single penny of any of this. We did have a volume spike there at 936. I was a stratter during my options time with you in your Discord. Now incorporate some ICT. Nice. Yeah, so that's good stuff, man. If I were to do anything other than a VPA, adopt another system, it would be the strat. Simply because it's price action, I have a lot of respect for the strat. It's good stuff. All right, still coming up, NASDAQ, 20,000 or 30,000, 228, 230. Large green move here. I'm a failure. I am ashamed. I've disgraced my family from not buying the dip. But they're all dead, so there's nothing to disgrace. How do you balance the extremely light volume yesterday with the overall nonstop upward trend? Well, you have to fit in the thesis of your bias in the daily in tune with the price action. So I think, we get so focused on the individual 5-minute candles, we got to zoom out. And the daily charts is extremely bullish. Extremely bullish, especially, you being a tier 2 member, you saw the weekly brief is that we're looking for the breakout, and once it did break out, yesterday was the breakout session. So once we close that little area, then you can no longer look for shorting. Instead, you look for pullbacks. Now we don't know. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know when there's going to be that nonstop upward trend. But you just got to put yourself in the bias that there's no shorting, none. And even though we did end up getting a pretty dang nice reversal on the S&P, NASDAQ never really truly reversed. The S&P did yesterday. But until then, it was a relentless green move to the upside. Is the day trade channel gone? No, it's right there. Still there. Way too hot in my area. Too much development chopping down all the trees. Just unbearable heat here in the south. Yeah, it is. We've had a pretty cool summer, but this past week has been a little miserable for show. It's helped me simplify things. Yeah. All right, NASDAQ is complete recovery. That's a 100-point bounce on NASDAQ. All the way back up. Very clean bounce. This is the same exact open we've had every single day of the week. Red open, bottom wick, higher high. Up and away. Once we take out 270, we'll go to 283. They just put on 1,100 lots setting at 30,200. Look at this. Look at the Discord. Look at this. Boom. That is an extraordinary large amount of liquidity. Rare to see that kind of liquidity on the map. 1,100 lots. What's Hero doing? Call buying, put selling. Where's it at? 30,200. We just blew right through it, and they didn't put it on until after we went through it. So I'm curious what that is, because this is a very aggressive bounce. Very aggressive. Yesterday was a fantastic move. It was extraordinary. It was extraordinary. Today was the second biggest drop in retail sales in 5 years. We keep on getting these data points that are the highest in 5 or 6 years, and yet we're still talking about rate hikes. But there's also liquidity being put on at 30,500. So what I could see happening here, reduction down to 200, fill that 200, bottom wick, and then launch pad to 500. That would be insane to continue the breakout from yesterday. I could see that happening. They say that rate hike hopes are being downgraded. Yes, sir, you're correct. So I do see that. I don't even know why they're on the table anyway, because there's nothing about this economy that is going well at all. The obviously the stock market is ridiculous, but the stock market and the economy are rarely step in step. And with the huge federal budget deficit, we can't afford hikes. The government's paying more than interest. Yeah, you're 100% right. What's up, routine? Routine. Making profits, routine. I love it. All right, here's the top wick. Watch this liquidity. I'm leaving bookmap on just because I want to explain what happens when we retrace into a liquidity like this. It's not often we get this kind of liquidity on the bookmap. Let's go take a look at a yes. I encourage you to pay attention, to stop doing your job for a second, tell your boss to take a hike, and tell him that you need to watch the stream for a few minutes and don't just listen to me in the background. I'm not here just to whisper sweet nothings into your ear. So let's see what happens when this liquidity comes down to bookmap right here at 200. If it ever does that, we just had a hammer candle, so I don't know if we're going to get the test. Bottom wick again. We have call buying, put selling. So the bulls are running the tape, or the options tape here. Nice, Celsius. Well done, buddy. Well done. Well done. 30,270. Up and away. There we go. Still blasting higher. Still going. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. The S&P is not following bullishness. Is not following bullishness. I might consider a short position here. I know. Shocking. Just snagged a long off NASDAQ 50 Fibbo back to overnight high. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I might look to play down to 200 and then bottom wicket if they don't directly participate in stocks like we do. Yeah. What am I doing? What am I doing? Where's the volume at? The volume is at 947, which came into the highs of 270. So we have a volume spike here, but price action is relatively smaller range than the past couple of days. We do have a tremendous amount of liquidity at 200. We are rejecting the top side of the range with 2 engulfing red candles on the Uno. Rick's trade. I'm enjoying this option chain, man. All right, here we go. 30,229 on the NASDAQ. The S&P is coming off here, too. They're about to put a new low in. Speaking of low in, where is low in? What are you doing? 30,231 is the first pivot to the 226, and then we're going to grab 200. I'm going to put a mark at 200 to represent the liquidity on the book right there. Iron Condor is launched, hoping we blow out one side and tread hard. Heck yeah, man. I like it. Hey, the 200 mark is just... no, that's all right. No. All right. Or we're bouncing off the 50 repeatedly. I don't like this back and forth stuff. Russell's very strong today. Yeah, a little bit of rotation in and out, back and forth. Another bounce off the 50. We just bounced off the 50 at 223. Yeah, they pulled it and rocketed. Look, they just shifted it down to 150. Look at that. They just moved it down to 150 right here. They just pulled it down right here. They're managing this book down. I think I might go ahead and creep in. That was a high volume inflow. Give me something. Hold on a second. 1 second. I haven't taken a position yet. We have Michigan consumer sentiment at the top of the hour, which is in 8 minutes. 8 minutos. MCE says no spoofing. That's what they do all day long. Yeah, so he shifted that liquidity down to 150. That's a single player. That's not multiple player. That's a single player trying to get filled at 1,000 lots of NASDAQ. So that's a big boy. S&P massive bounce. 6-point bounce. Massive for today's environment, at least. Massive for today's environment. Let's see. They're going to sweep the top, you think? Everybody's trying to long today? Yeah, I don't like this back and forth here. I'm going to go to the 5-minute to kind of reduce some of the noise. So far, I'm seeing a top wick, and we got to get under this 225. Now, here's the deal. Well, now that they moved it down to 150, yeah, there's the support is not nearly there. So I'm looking to move down to this liquidity. That's what I'm going to see if we can get. What's up, Dynamite Snipe? How you doing? Being very patient. I don't want to ruin my weekend. The CEO of Boston Scientific just dropped $9 million of his own money while the shares are down 50%. I don't know what Boston Scientific does. I have no idea what that is. BSX. Bravo Sierra X-Ray is the ticker. Crazy you just named that to start a position. Did you really? Nice. I got my 2 trades in. I think I'm done for the day. I want to stop getting wrecked on Fridays. Yep. Got to be careful on Fridays, baby. Although Mondays have taken the spot as my worst day of the week traditionally. Although I had a pretty decent Monday. Yeah, Fridays are still on my radar. All right. I need your take on trading SPX safely. Okay, what do you want to know? What do you want to know? I'm not taking another bounce off the 50. Yeah, I think that's what, one on the 1 minute. That is like one, two, three, four, 5 bounces off the 50. I think we're going to breach it and go to 150. Oh, he just shifted down to 100. Look at this jabroni. Someone find this jabroni. Contact the exchanges. Find out whose account this is. I gotta send him a package of gabagoo. Look, he shifted down to 100 now. I don't like it when they do that. Look, down to 100. Right there. He's not even faking it. No. You know what's weird? I bought a new drone that hasn't been released in the United States yet, but I was able to get one. So it's been, released in other countries. So it came with all of the plugs, the electrical plugs for the different countries. I don't know what y'all are doing in the electrical industry. China's plug is like 4 inches wide. London's plug is like 2 little prongs. Like, y'all need to get on the United States standard with the traditional electrical plug. It's weird. Anyway, first time I've ever seen those things. What's up? First day here. Found your channel yesterday. I love the content. Tried trading a couple years ago, but never really pulled the trigger. Going live, and I dropped it. I'm feeling confident watching you, so I'm trying to learn everything I can. Beautiful. Well, welcome. Greetings from Argentina. I'm good to know. Good to know. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Right here. So, all right, 30,230. I do think NASDAQ is going to come down to 150. I do think we're going to have a little bit of a pull down into the liquidity lower. What drone was it? I got the Mavic 4 Pro. The DJI Mavic 4 Pro. All right, 30,223. We're looking for 160. Down to 150. There's the move lower. Options are non-decisive here. Options are non-decisive. Undecided, I guess, would be a better one. We have data at 10 o'clock, correct. We have Michigan consumer. Michigan consumer. Off topic, what is my choice of handgun? For what situation? I have many. I have home defense. I have fun. I have truck guns, whichever. Here we go. Coming back over, 30,210. I see no volume, so I expect no bounce yet. I see no volume. I expect no bounce yet. Fun gun. I personally like my STI. Staccato, it's a weapon. Not anything weird. Before they changed over to the new brand. I even forget what their new brand is called, but they were bought out. 365s. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I traditionally don't like SIGs. I do like their 365 macro though. It's a good weapon. It's very pricey though. It's a little bit overpriced, but it's a great weapon. I don't like compact firearms. I don't like compact sidearms. I like full frame. You love your 365 XL? Nice, yeah. Thoughts on ES target liquidity? All right, let's take a look. Right now, they're pin flat, 78.25. Not the greatest of ranges. You want to know what? You want to know a macro target or just a daily target, like today's target? Today's target, I could see it going to 79.18, but we're only talking about 5 points there. So this is not the best day for the S&P. This is very tight. This is one of those days where I would probably lean more on NASDAQ simply because we don't have a lot going on here. All right, here comes data. We just had Michigan Consumer. Do I have an MP5? I have a 22 caliber MP5 knockoff. It's not an actual MP5. It's a lookalike. I've never been a huge fan of the MP5s. That's why I haven't really spent the money to get one. But I do have a 22 one. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to fire off. I do have a Glock. Yeah, Glocks are pretty awesome. All right, so 30,231 we're sitting at the moment. A partial of Springfield. Yeah, I used to have a Springfield. I didn't care for it. It's, in fact, the Springfield I had was the only weapon I've ever sold. I didn't like it. I just didn't shoot it well. This is looking like a bounce. Patience, no trigger pull. Okay, all right. All right, 30,230. I haven't taken a single trade yet today. This is pretty tight. Are you streaming somewhere else besides YouTube? I suppose you're talking. Yep, I do have a Discord. Yeah, I'm talking in the Discord chat. So if you want to come hang out with us, feel free. I have a very reasonably priced Discord, $25 a month. It's a very tight knit community. You know, recommend you come join, hang out with us. When my dad died, my brother got his MP5 and his Noriko 84s. Nice. Glock 26, Glock 40. I love the 43X though. I do like the 43X. I know that contradicts my statement of I don't like smaller weapons, but I do like the 43X. All right, 30,225 NASDAQ. ES is very tight. There's just not much here worth trading. I do think we are eventually going to slide down to 100. Let me zoom out a little bit. Am I still on Bookmap with y'all? Here. What do y'all want? Do y'all want Bookmap or do you want the charts? Do you want to watch that liquidity or do you want to go back to the charts? You want Bookmap? How about I go back and forth? I'm not going to make, I'm only going to make half the people happy here. It's like my kids. What kind of ice cream you want? Chocolate, vanilla. You jabronis. All right, 30,100. Let's go take a look at ES. Nothing, man. Nothing. Whatever you think is more educational. I like it. I like it. Do you trade only gamma? I'm not sure what you mean. Just let us know if the 100. Yes, sir. Definitely. Breaking news, Trump asked Supreme Court to let him continue building the ballroom. Yeah. Suck up. I like it. Hero is showing nothing. It's dead flat. We're back and forth. It's very weak notional. The conditions right now are extremely tight, so we're kind of still coming off the withdrawals of the volatility. We got we chased the dragon 2 weeks ago. We got that hit of dopamine with the VIX being at 20. Everything was shaking, and now we're back down to low VIX, and things are kind of boring. We're coming off that high. So we have to reduce our expectations until things start to present themselves. I love trading volatility, and with the reduction of volatility, my ability to trade options goes down. I don't do well with the short-dated options when volatility comes down like this. So because theta becomes too big of a player. So if you are trading SPX, by the way, who asked that question? Somebody asked that question. Where'd he go? About that. Anyway, yeah, Krish. What was your question? Repost your question for me. There's a lot of people. You have asked too? Oh, yeah, repost your questions. All right, NASDAQ bouncing back up. $78.50 liquidity. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, there's 170 orders there. The liquidity on Bookmap is extremely light for S&P. There's not much there. We do have an order at 78.50, but it's just, I wouldn't even call it a level. It's just normal liquidity that's always there, but it's very, very light. NASDAQ is ridiculously light except for the big level down at 30,100. I took a copy trade account across three accounts of varying size. TP triggered, not hit but not triggered. Hit but triggered out of the limit sell order. Not sure it's because of combining eval and present for that. I guess it is. Yep. Yeah, that's it. The copy trader, if you are copy trading, I would recommend if there's any data postings that you can trade or any kind of volatility, I wouldn't use a copy trader because the data aggregation is gonna those errors that you get is gonna make it very crazy. Just want to know what's the best to do a 3C trade on SPX, bounce to 50 play. If you're looking at SPX, I would not go with volume analysis on the SPX. The volume candles you see here on SPX are all calculated. It's an equation, so it's not true volume. I wouldn't do that. Use volume on the S&P. But it's the same thing. Right now, high volume bottom wicks, higher highs is what you're going to get. Right now, we're kind of doing this little slow grind drift up, 6 points, very, very tight. S&P, though, is showing the same thing here. We have a high volume bottom wick that occurred at 9:51 on the 5-minute that if we close this single green candle, we'll get a 3C long indication here over 28.75. But overall, conditions, like I said, conditions are tight. Could you explain that a little more for the copy trading? Yeah, so when you're copy trading, the biggest risk of copy trading is you get mixed fills and you end up accidentally hitting the counter trade rule and you blow all the accounts simply from failing that rule. Or you just even if you don't do that, you're going to get some weird fills or you're going to get mixed fills and it's just not good. So if you're going to use the copy trader for prop firms, take profit trader, or with Rick's Trade, which is the options prop firm, that you have to be aware of the conditions of the market. When things are very quick and very volatile, the volatility will make the data kind of lag and you'll just get weird fills. That's the risk of running a simulated book. Prop firms are simulated books. So it's not good. I use ES and SPX faster. I like it. That's a good idea, Steve. I like it. Steve. I like it. I like the options prop firm because I can take in the money positions and ride it. It's my personal. I'm always calculating, determining the risk reward by percent. Now that I've gotten dinged for counter trades, copy trader 7 times. Yep, it's happened to me once. It happened to me a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I didn't think about probably the 2 accounts. Well, it depends on the positions and how they were filled. The options are shifting towards bullish, but not aggressively. Price action has definitely bounced to S&P and NASDAQ. I hadn't even thought of the counter position issue being a potential problem for props. Yeah. All right, another top wick again. Keep having these sweeping top wicks. It feels horrible when all your funded TPT accounts disappear. Yeah. Yes, sir. That shouldn't happen if you're just taking a trade one direction and not following up in the opposite. Yeah, what usually happens is you'll put on a position and it executes across all 5 accounts, and then you place a stop or a limit and only a portion of the limit orders fill. So you end up with 3 accounts that are long and 2 accounts that are short because of the mix match, and it's just no good. So that's the risk you run when you're trading copy traders, but you got to be very delicate with it. What's the name of the options prop firm? It's called Options Funded. Yeah, Options Funded. Right there. All right, top wick again, NASDAQ off of 272. 100. 30,100 is liquidity on the book, which is 130 points down. 30,100 would bring us into yesterday afternoon's low. Not yesterday's low, but yesterday afternoon's low. When VIX is low, it's only relevant to two indexes, or does it impact volatility of individual? Well, it doesn't really impact the stocks. Although, to answer your first question there, the VIX is derivative of the S&P, mainly SPY, SPX. So it doesn't necessarily impact it. It's just a measurement tool of the hedging activity for the puts. Typically called the fear index. All it does is measure the hedging index, the hedging parameters of the SPY put flow. So when volatility is very low, VIX is very low because low volatility usually means low put activity. It's a crazy calculation developed in Vanderbilt University back in the 90s, I believe. Some dude from Vanderbilt University created it. So yeah. All right, NASDAQ still rocking and rolling here. And that's another sweeping top wick on the 5-minute. Rack'em-ball. The options-funded brokerage is called Rick's Trade. It's a proprietary brokerage they created. It's actually pretty nice. They did a good job on it. Might just be a range morning. Yeah. They even stole. Yeah. 30,218. As soon as I get my AMP Futures account, I'll get to the Discord. Beautiful. What videos do you recommend me watching from your channel to better understand your strategy in these lives? Well, I guess the first ones I would point to you are the 4 3C videos. So I have 4 of them. The first one's a summary video, and the next 3 are the breakdown of the first, second, and third criteria. Do the 100 orders attack or repel? I think we'll attack and then bounce off of it, and then after that we'll make a determination on direction. But I do think they're going to make a run for that 100. I don't know. We'll see. That's a single player, and it's not multiple orders. So I'm not gonna put on a position strictly for it because it's a single player putting that order on, and the book is not stacked lower. We just have one single order of 1,000 lots. If we had multiple positionings down there, like a layer down at 100, then I would probably play more aggressively down to it. But right now, I'm just gonna keep I'm lobster eyeing it. I'm lobster eyeing off to the side with it. Zero trades so far this open. You and me both, brother. You and me both. I feel like Macho Man Randy Savage every time I call someone brother. Or Hulk Hogan. Heck yeah, brother. Seems like they're a bit tired. They are. You're welcome, Nico. Thanks for being here, buddy. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions. We have call, selling, put, buying at the moment. There's an absolute massive number of SPY 780 calls the MMs are going to want to expire worthless today. Yeah. Yeah. Expiring worthless. Yeah. The jobless boom has arrived. The U.S. military has lost 25% of his MQ-9 Reaper drones fleet in the Iran war. Are you kidding me? What are they doing without me? Like I need to go back in. You know how long I was a Reaper pilot? We lost 1 aircraft, and it was because of an aircraft malfunction. And I leave, and all of a sudden they lose 25% of their entire fleet. What are they even doing? I got to do everything myself. Call, selling, put, buying here. They were shot down. Jeez Louise. All right, 30,220 is right here. Once we get under this level, we're going to start making a trip down to 100. I will smack some skulls. I was checking into some prop firms yesterday, and most do not have a 30-day to hit profit target. It will expire like some prop firms. Still rocking and rolling. I think we're going down to 100, people. Massive call, selling, put, buying. We just had a $1 billion change in calls. They dumped the calls. They're offloading them. The metaphor I would use is, imagine the calls are boxes of tea and they're sitting on a ship, and all of a sudden they start dumping them over the side. That's what's happening to the calls right now. 800 million. Do they know when they're shot at? Yes, they do. We do have countermeasures, yeah. But it's more intelligent gathering countermeasures, not active. We don't have any well, not that I know of on the new stuff. It's been a couple of years. I'm at French Revolution levels of anger at these clowns. Speaking of that, where's Damien? Haven't seen him in a while. Hope he's doing okay. He's my French guy in here. NASDAQ pilot long here. Quarter size pullback 270. Nice. All right. We can't get through this 200. I don't feel a lot of excitement to trade here. I think we're going to 100, though. I think we're going to do it. This is pretty awful, but I think we're going to do it. Will I be streaming trading during Jackson Hole? I will. All right, here comes 200. Rocking and rolling on down. This is a good lesson on how I utilize Bookmap in conjunction with price action. I'll tell you what, man. This options account has got me excited to ride options again. I might start doing more of that in my BKR. I kind of miss it. I enjoy doing it, but I'm not going to be doing zeros like I used to if I do that. I might start throwing on some. I might start throwing on some like poor man's. I don't know. We'll see. I got a lot going on, but I enjoy it. All right, 30,200. Almost down into this area where they're going to start to pull it down to 100. Aggressive call, selling, put, buying. Aggressive call, selling, put, buying. Once they clear out 170, I think we're going to hit the gas pedal down to 100. Of course, watch the volume. My eyes right now, especially if you're new, my eyes are right here. I'm looking at the volume. If I see a volume spike, that is time to long or get out of shorts. Right now, no volume. We have an extending, engulfing bearish candle with no volume. And we're just kind of sliding down, looking for 100. Low of the day is at 168. NASDAQ. My eyes are down here, sir. Hence the quarter size. Nice mojo. Hence. $30,177 coming down to 100. 1,100 orders. It's weird not being euphorically bullish on a day like today. Yep, new low of the day for NASDAQ. Here comes down to 100. Coming on down to 100. Lord, I was born a rambling man. 30,174. Still going down. Sweet. Man, the wife is killing it today. I'm going to have to go buy her something pretty today. She's killing it. All right, 100. She's she's running the homesteading style thing. She's selling eggs, chickens, everything. She's taking orders. She's like texting me off the hook with all my orders. It's great, man. It's great. I developed a fantastic homesteading farming app, by the way, if anyone wants it. Tracking everything. It's got a point of sale system. It's everything. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Logs chickens, feed, pounds. Comes out with an overall cost per pound. Man, it's great. PM breaking lows. Yep, Steve, definitely. Yeah, they are defending the day's lows right here at 170. They're defending the lows at 170. If we can clear it, 100, baby. 100. We have very weak volume. Look at the character of this market. Very weak volume down here. We have no higher highs. We have a small wick that's immediately being top wick back over. There's the 5-minute. So if you start watching these YouTube videos, you're going to see the first criteria is a volume spike. And after volume spike, you get a bottom wick. We had a bottom wick, but it's getting clapped. We're already top wicking back over. Third criteria is a lower low or a higher high. If you're looking for a bounce, you need a higher high. From here, once we clear this area, we're going down to 100. Down to 100. Oh my gosh. Y'all are killing me. Y'all are hilarious. You love it? All right. I'm gonna wrap. I'll finalize a few things and I'll send you the file. You have to have Claude though. I think. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. You want to know one of the biggest scams in the medical industry? The biggest scam in the medical industry right now is high cholesterol. It's nonsense. Complete nonsense. 30,100. FDA, yeah. Cancer, absolutely. I've been using Claude to build real estate CRM. Nice, Laughlin. What indicators do you use, if you don't mind? I don't use many. So if you notice, I'm one of the few traders that stream on YouTube that doesn't have, a bunch of lines on their chart or have EMAs or moving averages, RSIs, all that stuff. I'm a VPA trader, volume at price. I keep things very simple. You will see one indicator on my chart, which is this the blue histogram, which is volume at price. So you have volume at time that's down here. You have volume at price, which is here. Two of them I use together to kind of develop a strategy. But that's it. All right, NASDAQ is still sliding down. We're looking for 100. As we get closer to 100, I'm going to switch over to Bookmap so I can talk through my thoughts about how I look for the bubbles on Bookmap to form as we get closer to those areas. Why is cholesterol a scam? Because there's more to the doctors scare people with the number to get you on statins, which statins are horrible for you. When there's more to it, there's so much more to the cholesterol conversation. Just your number's 300, you need to get on statins. Not to mention, don't even get me started on juvenile covers like that. I mean, that's ridiculous. So anyway, we're coming down to 100. We can have that talk later. Yeah, your brain needs cholesterol, 100%. Yeah, what J-Dog just said is 100% correct. Yeah, Mojo, yeah, definitely. My dad was a heart surgeon. Cholesterol was confusing. Dietary cholesterol does not wind up in your bloodstream. Blood cholesterol is made your liver. It does not eat enough fiber. It's because you don't eat enough. Oh, okay. All right, NASDAQ's coming down. 100 is the target. Your brain is cholesterol. Yeah. Less is more. Yes, sir. Agree about cholesterol. Just got a calcium heart score for about $100. Most docs won't tell you about it. There you go. Aggressive call selling, put buying still. They just pulled that 100 liquidity. The guy just pulled it. That's a little crazy, isn't it? Spoofing, yep. Scared it's going lower? I think it's going to 100. I don't know, maybe. I think we're going to fill that 100. But so far, we're just kind of a nice little steady downtrend. I'm not buying the dip yet until I see something to really get me buying the dip. I don't see it. Not yet. And that's for someone who's been pounding the table on buying the dip all week. I've seen people use the opening range strategy as well. It goes by the established range opening by the first 15-minute candle. It doesn't seem like that range respected as often. I use the first hour. I use the first hour range, which is this range, the red lines here. The first hour range, which sets at 9:30. So we have 4 minutes. My morning range will set. And the reason why I don't use the 15. If you go into YouTube and search for opening range strategy, you'll see the first 5 minute, 15, 30, 45. You'll see a whole bunch of different styles. I use the 1 hour because I don't want to get caught up in trying to play something that doesn't work all that often. I'm all about the probabilities. So the hourly chart will help me define the day. It'll help me define trend up, trend down, bounce, and it'll give me very large pivots to play off of that are very highly respected with price action. So this still looks like it's going to go down and hit 100. Now remember, I know we've been yapping about 30,100 today, but what's between the price action now and 30,100? Overnight low. And we need to be very careful with that because that's going to be a heavy defense by the buyers. The buyers will defend 124, even if it's only one candle. So I don't want you to try to short the whole thinking, oh, I'm just going to short and let this thing flow down to 100, and then you get bottom weight at 124 from overnight low. So we have a lot going on, and we're entering major support areas. So if you're not already short, I don't know if this is a good place to enter. Just be careful is all I'm saying. Yeah, you and me both routine. You and me both. Calcium scores all that matters. I've heard that, yeah. Yeah. Lord, I was born a rambling man. Still coming down. I guess today's not a straight up baby all day. Nope, today's definitely not. Definitely not. Y'all ever played NASCAR 1998 on PlayStation? That's where that song's from. Huge nostalgia from that game. All right, 30,137. We came through the overnight, the day's lows. Now we're coming down to the overnight low. If we get a 20% bounce off the overnight low, it's a decent place to short it. If that's your bias. I like it. So today my bias was short once I saw the data set up. I wasn't short at the open, but my bias was short once I began to see the price action start to do its thing. And so far it's working pretty well, although I'm not in a position, all transparency, I haven't taken a single trade today. I'm doing a lot of yapping simply because things are a little bit slower, but I do think we're going to 100 here. My eyes are on the volume. I'm looking for a volume spike. I don't know how much volume spikes we'll get today on things are so slow. I love NASCAR 98. Yeah, that was great. It was a great game. Sweep 125. I like it. I need to give away the options funding accounts. Ooh. I forgot about that. Man, I am just a jabroni. I got too many irons in the fire, man. I need, you know that movie Multiplicity with Michael Keaton? I need that. I need 5 of me. $30,160. Nothing beats Sega. Oh yeah, the Daytona. That was a great game. I like it, Proggy. Remember they get dumber each time? Oh, that's not good. I don't have much I don't have much wiggle room, JJ. That's hilarious. 30,140. Oh, that's funny. I need to hang out with y'all. We need to hang out sometime. That'd be great. Hi, Steve. I like pizza. All right, Big Red. Here we go. Look for the overnight low of 125. After 125, we're going to 100. Watch the overnight low. We do have a volume on that move. Hey, Options Millionaire. What's up, man? I just wanted to say thank you for Trading in the Zone book recommendation. Struggling with emotion, taking inconsistent trade setups, the dialogue around probabilities, and never knowing a trade outcome has helped me greatly. I'm treating every trade like blackjack hand in the casino. Control what I can when I enter the trade and let it play out. Whatever happens, happens. I like it. I like it. Well done, buddy. You're very welcome. I highly recommend every single person reads that book. The two biggest books I recommend: Trading in the Zone and The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Colling. Those right there will change your life, your trading life. Go get them. Go get them. Still defending overnight low right here, baby. A volume spike. Let's go to the 5. What do we got? High volume bottom wicks. Well, medium volume bottom wicks. They're defending overnight low. Yeah, buddy. What was the second book? The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. I'll type it out for you. There you go. Boom. Here comes the red. Still filling down. We don't have a 3C trigger yet, so overnight low is pretty much guaranteed at this point. That's right, Side Gig Guru. That's right. That's right. My girl and I have been listening to the audiobook on long camp drives. Does she like that book? It's not exactly a romance novel. $30,130 looking for overnight low. Failing, yeah. Down to 124. The Volume Price book is a great analysis book. Yep, reading that now. Nice, Marcus. Yeah, it's a fantastic book. Changed my life. Like, literally, changed my life. Sounds like, but she must really like you. Yeah. Yeah. I listened to the audiobook version once with my wife, Trading in the Zone, and it was like, Chapter 2, How Not to Be Emotional. She gave me the side eye. She was looking at me. Like, this book's more for you than it is me, babe. She's enjoying it. Been bugging her to read Anna's book. Like pulling teeth, but she's an economist. Nice. Very cool, man. I like it. Had no idea there's an audiobook. Yeah. So, by the way, Spotify has Trading in the Zone for free for premium members. The audiobook. So, if you have Spotify, go listen to it. It's for free. 30,140. This looks like absorption for lower. I don't know, man. The bulls are getting ready to fail this. Wouldn't the 1028 hammer candle signal the coming bounce? Well, maybe. That's a great observation. So the 1028 candle, one, it's only on the 1 minute. So we have a high volume spike here at 130. We have an obvious base sitting at 130 on NASDAQ. Now, what's the three criteria? Three criteria is bottom wick, volume, and the third criteria is a higher high. So where's our higher high right now? Our higher high is right here. Now, that's for full confident confirmation. You don't have to wait for the third C to close to take a long position if you don't want. All that is saying is that if you want to make sure you're not catching a falling knife, the higher high closing is the way to go. Now, here's the deal. Here's why I've kind of backed off a little bit on telling you to wait for the close, because I want you to make your determination based on the market conditions. The third C is an art form. The first two C's are technical. The art form is important because it has to give you some interpretation. The good traders are going to have unique perspectives, and you have to have that unique perspective. You have to have your due diligence done to determine where to enter. Now, the third C here, which is this orange line, the higher high, is going to tell you right side of the V. And once it closes, you can start playing up to back up to that 200, 220 mark. But what you don't want to happen is you see volume come in, a small bottom wick, you enter, and then blip, it just drops down even more. And this goes back to the conversation that we're not here to trade candles. We're here to trade the order book, to understand that the order book is buyers and sellers. Selling and buying. That's it. Order flow. And now we have a bounce. My wife couldn't get emotional when she trades. She just needs more to listen. Yeah. My wife would be an extraordinary trader. She'd be a way better trader than I would. What's Hero showing? Hero is showing, up until this point, has been showing heavy call selling and put buying, but is beginning to retrace back in the bullish direction. We're about to start seeing some call buying and put selling if that keeps up. Such a good read, very logical explanation, new process and thinking. I like it. What's up, Pastor GBC? How you doing? Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're here on the YouTube channel and what I'm saying it sounds like gibberish, just ask questions. Let me know. I'll be happy to answer them. Bonus points if you read Anna's VPA book while you listen to Anna's book while reading the physical. Yeah, I actually contacted her to see if she would let me do the voice reading for that book. I said I'd do it for free too, but she rejected my proposal. Eight more trading days left until the big kahuna. NVIDIA, August 26th. We have an extreme heat advisory for Sunday. The actual temperature is supposed to be 100 degrees with the index being 112. That's it. I'm going to Alaska. Forget this. I just broke even today. Had a great day yesterday. I think I'm done unless a long jump off the chart. Yeah, there you go. Nice slider. I asked Linda Rasky if I can. I love it. All right, another bottom wick here. Alaskan heat. That's right. Very slow. Is it micro pullback right now? So far. Could you share your thoughts on what were the key items that suggested it would go lower and possibly to 100 on NASDAQ this morning? Yeah, so the very weak, when you have a lack of buyers, that indicates selling, which sounds a little simple, doesn't it? So here's what happened. We had the opening liquidity pull, which is pretty much happens every day this week. If you go back and look, this is pretty much what's been happening. Buyers recover. Now, after the morning shakeout, which was that right there, we're through this is 15 minutes of price action up until this point. Now we're looking. What do we have? Aggressive top wick, lighter top wick, aggressive top wick. So the sellers are still hitting everything, and they're more aggressive than the buyers now. So we have what's called a change of character. I'm not going to write that. I'm not going to write down the charts. COC, change of character. We have more aggressive red than we do green. We have another attempt coming up here until 10:05, and then we have another top wick, all while having high volume spikes on these wicks. So it did look like we're hitting some sort of supply. We failed to go higher. We had nothing but top wicks, and we had the price action continue trying to reach lower. In addition, the order flow on Bookmap had a very large order flow pulled down to 30,200. Then they moved it to 150. Then they moved it down to 100. And now they've completely rolled it off the books. So the price action just kept pulling lower there, kept rejecting. And at some point, you got to give the buyers a chance. And they did, and they failed it. So they just pulled the liquidity lower. Think about, I always try to think as simplistic as I can. If you have buying and selling, and the buyers just nothing is buying back up, from any perspective, you think about the Walmart widget theory that we always talk about. Eventually, you have to lower the price to get buyers reinvigorated. So price action pulls down. We hit the new demand of about 130, which is also right at overnight low. Whereas there's outstanding liquidity sitting there. They fill it, or almost fill it, bounce it back up about 50 points, and here we are now. So overall, though, is that I let the price action in the first 15 minutes be my guide. And every day this week, I've been euphorically bullish. And if you're in the Tier 2 channel, my weekly brief was bullish all week. But this morning, it just didn't look that way. So I had my first bear bias of the week. When NVIDIA reaches my A+ strategy, I'm going to join the options funding. Heck yeah, man. I like it. I like it. The Justice Department strikes down the law saying that you cannot carry firearms inside a United States Postal Service building. So you now can carry them inside those. Interesting. Man, I need a pizza oven. I can seal wherever I want except an airport. Yep. I was in the Air Force for many, many years, and I carried a weapon every single day in my truck. Every day. Do you think AI is causing these job losses or lack of jobs? I don't know. I think that might be attributing to some job loss, but I don't know. I think there's a lot going on here. Am I bullish or bearish right now? Right now, I don't have a 3C long. The bulls are very, very weak right now. So I have to think that we're going to at least overnight lows first. Maybe sweep overnight lows, then bottom wick. So, yeah. It's Friday, man. It's Friday. I think that carries over from my Air Force days, because on Fridays, everyone's checked out. If anyone's ever worked in the government on Fridays, don't ever try to get anything done on the government on Fridays. They're all checked out. Might as well not even be there. I've been bear biased this week. Yogi Bear on the hunt for that Pikanika basket. I can't afford a pizza oven, so I have to make my own. Yeah. Well, I want to get a big pizza oven, and those are like 20 grand, and I'm not spending 20 grand on a pizza oven. So I think I'm going to build one, because I love making homemade pizza. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's a training day, yeah. The Bulls got some low T this morning. They do have some low T this morning. The Bulls need to take some TRT. I pretty much caught the whole short so far. Nice, Alex. Set a stop and take your hands off, man. Checked out at taxpayer expense, yep. So before I was a pilot, I was a contracting specialist. And the contracting specialist is what began my fall into libertarianism and away from, I guess, more of a constitutionalist. I don't know, or, away from the conservative mindset. It was awful. Absolutely atrocious, the things I saw. I was just about to say, you couldn't you build one for a couple grand? Yeah. 1102. Yeah, buddy. I was looking for a bounce, but it's a dull bounce. Yeah, I don't want to play this bounce yet. We do have a volume spike. Don't get me wrong. At 10:30 Eastern time. But if you go to the Cinco, we don't have a higher high yet. So the 11:30 candle, well, we did technically have a higher high, but it quickly failed. So I'm not looking to play the bounce just yet. Just yet. I'd love to see the options get on my side. I'd love to see some momentum, maybe a little bit more volume. You in Tokyo. I tested out some writing premium on this options funded eval this morning. I like it. It worked out exactly as anticipated. It worked exactly as anticipated. It's the first time I've wrote options on this prop firm. I think I might recommend to them, though, a strategy builder tab where you can build the spreads instead of manually enter them. All failed up thrust, exactly. All failed. Did you build that, Ben? That's beautiful, dude. Beautiful. No, it's an idea. Oh, okay. You're in Tokyo. Nice. What time we got? It is currently 10:50 Eastern. How enter the OF? Go on the Twitter account, and you have to retweet the tweet. I'll get it for you. I completely forgot to give those things away. I'll do it today. You're welcome, buddy. Appreciate you. You got a rambling head stuck, man. I'm not mad about it. Heck yeah, man. Now wait for an overnight vote recount. An overnight vote recount, like Al Gore. Al Gore in Florida. Things are tight. No bounce just yet. You know what today is? Arms Day, baby. Time to stretch out the sleeves a little bit. Pennsylvania takes a month. All right, more topics here. I'm going to go take a look at a couple other things. Gold, oil, nice little bottom wick still. R2Y, another top wick there at 10:30. Not still much going on. Green Day, thanks, Om. Have a good day. You too, Ben. Appreciate you, buddy. Have a great weekend. Look forward to coming back on Monday, baby. It was legs for you. Nice hider. Love leg day. It's my favorite day of the week. I can't wait to start doing legs again. My knee is still acting up, but we're getting closer. New 1 hour candle coming. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 4 hour charts are right here, by the way. Occasionally, I like to flip to the 4. We've been in a range since Thursday morning, yesterday morning. Overall, we do have what's called a support resistance retest. A support resistance retest is a liquidity concept of prior filled liquidity that was a support that is now, resistance that is now a new support. Right here. And that's what we're trying to do. That Arms Day might be a new U.S. holiday I hadn't heard of yet. Well, not to be confused with Armistice Day. Although we should do arms on Armistice Day, just to in remembrance. Who could tell me what Armistice Day is without Googling quickly? Day of the Armistice, end of World War I. There you go. Jukebox for the win. Vampire coming in quick second. Oh, man. Can't ask that question to too many people, though. Apparently, you go around on YouTube Shorts and you ask the public, hey, how many states are there in the United States? I don't know, 40? What did World War II end? 1981? I think if I asked somebody when World War II ended and they said 1981, I think my hand would just, like in a reflex, smack them in the face. It would just I wouldn't even think about it. It's like, whoosh. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. You activated a muscle in my arm. J-Dog 11. I like it when the war was 1812. Yeah. When is the War of 1812? Yeah. All right, 30,140 creeping down. Overnight low positions. Things are extremely tight. These are awful conditions. Don't sweat it if you're not in a trade. Who cares? It's Friday, baby. We get to enjoy the weekend with friends and family and the outdoors. It was boring. When the short exit, I'm in the car for 6 hours to get home. Either way, I'm bored. Uh-oh, where are you coming from, Jay? Give us a nice big flush. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on, routine. We need your help to get the thing to flush. Clear the blockage so we can get this thing to flush. I am starving. This whole week I've been absolutely ravenous. I don't know what it is. I'm making the biggest hamburger this world's ever seen in about 6 hours. I can't wait. I think I'll lock my account at green and walk away. Nice. It's a fantastic strength. On the grill, yes, sir. Have I ever smoked a hamburger? I have. They tend to be too dry for me, though. They tend to be too dry. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. I go back and forth between smash burgers and just nice grilled burgers. Depends on the mood. All right, here we go. Here's the overnight low position, baby, coming out of 124, then down to 100. Oh, hey, Big Dog is back again. Big Dog is back again. Right here. Smoke them for about 45 minutes and finish them on the grill. Okay. I'll give it a shot, man. That sounds good. There we go. 124. There's overnight low right there. There is overnight low. We have call, selling, put, buying. China's central bank injected billions in liquidity through reverse repos. It's the first time they have done so in the middle of a month ever. Huh. Interesting. 6 of the last 9 trading sessions has been green VIX, green red, or green SPY. That means the VIX is bottomed out. The VIX has been bottomed out. Y'all remember the obsession with vampires in the early 2000s? Oh man, I just found a video of Pine Beach's Dan gym, where he goes to the gym. That explains a lot. I just DM'd him the link. Oh, that's funny. How do I get those overnight low, high opening range lines? It's an indicator, or have you set them manually before the New York session? That is an indicator. Good question. So if you go to my indicators tab here, it's this guy right here. Daily level sweep, market breadth, MC, that's me right here. Turn that on, and there's a billion different levels on that. You can customize it how you want. I've got it set for major levels like overnight low, prior session low, current session, or the morning range low, high low. I don't know if I could share that in the chat. We're a family event here. We're a family stream. All right, 30,125. Still coming down, looking for 100. All the liquidity is now sitting still at 100. No buy the dip yet. Do not buy the dip yet. I think they'll give us a good buy the dip opportunity today, but not yet. Not yet. There we go. Still going down. Looking for 100. Nice and slow, but getting there. Nice and slow, but getting there. You're welcome, Nico. You're welcome. All right, so look at this. Here's the call credit spread I took this morning on the options thing. Just an evaluation. This is not funded, and I'm just testing it out. So it's going pretty well. I like it. I like the execution of it. I did a 10 wide call credit spread near the highs on SPX. It was a little. I'm going to recommend a strategy box on that thing that they could do. I don't know if they're building this with Claude or what, but overall it's working pretty well. I like it. I think I'm going to utilize a lot more options writing on this thing once I get it funded. It is now illegal in my state to blow grass clippings on the road from your lawnmower. Land of the free, baby. Decent amount of volume coming in. Yeah. You're welcome, Nico. Thanks for the question, buddy. Let me know if you have any more. Good stuff. Still coming on down. S&P still dropping here too. Motorcycle drivers, yeah, definitely. I would never drive a motorcycle. We are coming up on London close, which we'll call the day, but this has been a very slow, boring day. We had this nice little move lower to shift into lower liquidity into 100, which I think our overall target is going to be 100. But it's been incredibly slow, just kind of down trickling here into nothingness. Into nothingness. Am I streaming later? I do have an afternoon stream scheduled for the Discord. Discord only will come on about 1:30 or 2:30 Eastern time. But if conditions are this tight, I'm not going to be on very long. I'll come on. We'll kind of look at things. We'll do a little rundown. And that's it. There we go, still rocking and rolling. Hope we get a nice bounce. Yeah, we just need the volume though. Wait for the volume. If you are going to buy the dip, at least wait for a high volume spike to put you to increase your probabilities. If we get more downside Momo, will you cut your long call? No, it's a call credit spread. I just let it eat. I put that on the purpose with both of those positions expiring worthless. That long call is protection. That's all it is. Still coming on down. Has anyone ever had your stop loss risk amount disappear on TradingView when taking a position? Negative. That's right, Side Guru. All right. The positions are already 90% decayed, both of them. So I could close it now. In fact, I probably will just go ahead and yank it. They're both decayed 90%. So there's literally how much value left in the position. And this is just a good thought process if you want to write premium. That there's only 30 cents of value left in the premiums. So it's a good idea to go ahead and close them so you don't miss some, so you don't get caught up in some crazy end of day pump and you get blasted. So it's really like there's no point in keeping them open just for pride. If you want if you want to close expired, it's just pride at that point. Take it. It's only 30 cents. Man, I miss this stuff. I like this stuff. All right, let's close it. That's what I'm going to do. Close, done. I like it. $700 in profit. I'll take it, baby. I will take it. Keep on doing that and get funded. See how this goes. I'm going to add to a watch list. I'm going to create a new category for it's been so long since where's the stupid there we go, add section. Well, that was dumb. We're going to go, what should I name this? Speculation. That's what I'm going to name this, speculation. And we're going to put this add symbol, and we're going to go and then let's add BSX too. I saw that one this morning. There we go. I'm going to keep an eye on those. Heck, man, I mean, think about it. It's only a $10 stock. You throw in 10, 20 grand on that, and that thing runs to 20. Boom. Do you think this comes back up at all? Fridays, there's a good chance of that happening. Now, if we were closer to the month end, I would probably say there's a really good chance of that happening, but I don't know. Right now, we've had a very green week on extremely low volume, so this is just undoing some of that, a little bit of profit taking. SPCX August 20th, lockup expiration should cause volume to rise on Monday. Good time sell. Nice. So if you look at we've got this last pivot before it starts eating into June levels, and then, I mean, overall, our target on this is 27. So we don't need to say no. We need it to go 26, 27, and then we start getting into the IPO levels from years ago. But I don't know. That might be a good one. I like value names. Can you get shares put on options funding? Can you get the put shares on options funding? What do you mean? Are you talking about like get assigned? No. It's strictly a positional prop firm. You don't actually own ownership or you get signed. And not to mention they force close the positions before the end of the day anyway, so to avoid that circumstance. We still have call selling, put buying. You're welcome. You're welcome. Need a 50, 60 point drop on NASDAQ? Yeah. Here's 100. We're just about to fill 100. That's their, that was my target since this morning. Can we close under it though? They're rolling a small amount of liquidity down to 50, but it's very small and things are very slow. So I think I'm just gonna wrap things up. Call it a day here in about 10 minutes. Go get some food because I'm starving. Still coming down to 100 here. It'll pop as soon as I get off, probably. Even puts are hardly getting premium. Yeah, it's just so slow, man. It's so slow. I mean, VIX is incredibly low. Look at, look at this. VIX is, where's it at? VIX is 1448 and dropping. We're at some extremely low levels on the VIX. This is now down into January of 26 levels. And if we break into the 13s, we're talking 2024 levels. It's just so low. But you can anticipate a fluctuation there. It might be some opportunity to start playing long vol positions, which will be fun. Long vol positions, which will be fun. And think of this, with Jackson Hole coming up with NVIDIA, maybe a VIX 17 call or even a VIX 16 call for 2 weeks out. Although it's difficult to play VIX calls, very difficult to play VIX calls. I bought some Jan VIX calls yesterday, super cheap. Yeah. TLT down, yields are up. Is that pressuring the market? Could be. 15 to 30 minute MACD should start turning to the upside, still positive. Interesting. Haven't heard about MACD in a while. Feels like the right thing for the market makers to do is pump a 50-point green candle to shake out the shorts. That would be mean. Yeah. Big orders at 29,000. Ooh, interesting. When did that come on? There's 1,000 orders sitting at 29,000, 1,000 points down. What about the S&P? We have anything crazy? I'm down to 7,000. Not very big though. Interesting. Just closed the last piece, Myron Condor, for 48% max credit. Nice, Mojo. Well done, buddy. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, yields are juicy. NASDAQ is getting plumped. 30,065. The only thing really left here, now that we're eating through this SR flip, which is this green block, this green shaded block is the SR flip. If we start taking that out, now we start going down to yesterday's lows, which is 863. Getting turned down for what? 37 years ago today, the Sega Genesis was launched. 37 years ago today, the Sega Genesis was launched. Do I have any content about iron condors? I do have some content about iron condors. Yes, I'll get it for you. It's on my Tube of You channel. Let's get it. Hopefully you can master the iron condors so you can sit upon the iron throne. There you go. 30,050 and dropping still. No bottom wicks with volume, so it's all downward, baby. Today was the only short bias day of the week, and down we go. Down we go. That video is one of my worst performing videos I've ever posted. I guess people don't like iron condors. Call, selling, put, buying. All the way down. NASDAQ is coming down. ES is coming down straight. Don't buy the dip yet. Well, we do have some volume coming in here, but you still need bottom wick and higher, so still don't buy the dip. $780 gain on today. Beautiful. Locking out the account, going about my day. Well done, Dream Team. Teamwork makes the dream work. 67 RTH. I like it. This is getting zesty. Zesty. We're coming on down, baby. Coming on down. All right, y'all, we got the London close coming up. Is this a time to BTW or whatever? Or BTD, I don't know why I said BTW. Buy the W. Buy the whip. There you go. Heading to the gym. Have a great weekend. You too, Marcus. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you being here. I like the I like your profile picture. Very good stuff. Do we have a potential buy the dip here? I don't know. Either way, I'm out. Scalping long off 30,000. If we get down there, probably, you know. I'm definitely losing the funded. Counter trade went on for 5 minutes without me knowing. Oh, man. That's not good. You know why they do that? because they were threatened with massive fines if they allow it. So they made the punishment very severe for it, which is losing the account. Iran warns that it's preparing for military operations on United States soil. Military doctrine is tasking Iranians to attack enemy on its soil. It will take operations into enemy territory, into the enemy lands, and carry out operations far from our own territory. Big green candle, bottom weight. Start in California. No. If you start in California, man, that'll give them a false sense of confidence. They're like, oh, this is super nice. This is very easy. We took California in about 30 hours. And then they start moving east and south. Glad I left Irvine. Yeah. All right, y'all. It is 11:30. That means the end of the stream. That means London closed. That means our time together is done. As your hopes getting bullied again. Yeah. As always. As always. Let's see. Very bullish week. Today, we have a nice little downtrend forming. Slow but aggressive. We're all kind of relishing in the fact that we had that tremendous volatility 2 weeks ago and last week, and we want more of it. So we're looking for VIX to come back. I could expect a slight retracement maybe coming soon with the volatility spike, but we'll see. It might be worth looking into some vol long plays. Hope you have a good rest of the day. I'm going to come back in and see if we can get something going on the afternoon stream. But again, if things are super slow, we'll kind of check in. But other than that, hope you have a good rest of the week. I will see you all next week. I'm out.